Hey everyone, it's April and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am teaming up with two amazing ladies who are also DIY crafters here on YouTube. Now, you guys, if you are familiar with my channel, I haven't been doing a ton of DIYs lately. I'm kind of more famous for my home tours and shopping hauls and things like that, but I do like to do the occasional DIY project. So this time I decided to make this cute bunny garland. But before we get on into that, I'd like to introduce to you the other lovely ladies. First is Sarah from Pajama Crafts. She is hosting this collaboration, and if you guys love the farmhouse style and Dollar Tree DIYs, she is the channel for you. She's so creative, and her projects always come out looking so high-end you would never know that they were with supplies from the Dollar Tree. And also, Dying to DIY Camaro. She is absolutely amazing as well. I love all of her DIYs and craft projects that she comes out with. Her most recent one for Easter, where she did different cutouts with bunnies and moss and tissue paper. You guys are just going to love it. So definitely go check these girls out. I will have their channels linked down below in the description box. Okay, so for my DIY, I picked up these craft styrofoam bunnies from the Dollar Tree, and I think you get 8 of them in a pack. And when I saw them, I thought they were really cute. I like that they're 3D, very lightweight because they're made of styrofoam. And I knew I could probably come up with some kind of craft to do with these, so I picked up a bag. And the first thing that came to mind was just, painting them and putting them on a tiered tray, which I might do with a few of them. But I decided it would be fun to make a garland. So I'm just either sticking in a paintbrush or a skewer stick. I have both of them, and I'm sticking it into the bottom and puncturing a little hole. That way I could paint it easily without getting the paint everywhere, and I could just rest it somewhere to dry. Now I am painting my bunnies very neutral colors, a darker gray, a lighter gray, and white. But it is totally up to you. I think this garland would be fun if it was done in some pretty pastel colors. I just decided to go more neutral just in case I want to change my color scheme up over the years. And I put in pops of color in my spring decor, but it's not very bright and in your face. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to paint 2 or 3 of them the dark gray, some the white, and then some the light gray. While I'm doing that, if you are new here to my channel, you're coming over from one of the other ladies, hi, my name is April, and I'm so glad to have you here. I'm very into the farmhouse, rustic, kind of primitive sometimes style. I'm also into a lot of whimsical decor, and I don't know, I just like to do a kind of a mixture of all of it and just really make my house feel warm and inviting. And I go all out with my decorating. I decorate pretty much for every holiday and every season, and I like to take you guys along the way. I show you all of the new pieces I pick up. I go to different stores, whether it be antique malls, thrift stores, or even, just some of the local stores that we all love, like Hobby Lobby. And sometimes I even give things makeovers. But in the end, I then take you along and show you how I use them in my home, and then give you a home tour at the end of every season. So if that sort of thing interests you, I would love for you to subscribe. So now we're taking the other bunny and I'm painting it white, and you might say, why would you paint it white when it's already white? But by adding the white chalk paint, it definitely makes it look less styrofoam, it kind of fills in those gaps and gives it a more chalky finish. So I'm not being very exact with it. You can be a little, carefree with this, because if you miss a few spots, you're not going to notice. here's what a finished painted bunny looks like. Now for me, I don't like it solid. I want it to look like this one that I've already done. I want it to have more of a distressed and rustic look. So what I'm doing is I have some white wax and some antique wax, and I'm just taking a little on my finger and I'm smearing it around, trying to hit all the crevices of the bunny just to give it that weathered look. Now you're more than welcome to use a paintbrush, but I'm using my finger just because I find that I have a little bit more control with where I'm placing it, and I have a tissue here on hand. That way if I do put a little bit too much, I can just wipe it off. And I will just continue to do that until I cover the whole bunny and still leave some of that gray showing through. And that is how he looks when he's finished. I like it so much better than just making it solid because it goes more with my kind of rustic aesthetic that I have in my home. But you are more than welcome to leave it however you want. And here is one of the white bunnies I've already done. With this one, I did the same exact technique. The only difference was instead of white wax, I used the antique wax. And I used the Waverly one from Walmart. And yeah, I like how it makes him look like he's kind of dirty and grungy. So I will show you quick how I did one of the white ones, just to show you the process again of just smearing it around and blending it in with your finger. Okay, so this is what our bunnies look like when they're all painted and distressed. And then I'm taking these little push pins that have the balls on the end. I got them in a pack one time at a Salvation Army. And what I'm doing is I'm just sticking them in at an angle. That way the pin sharp part stays within the styrofoam and goes up towards the ears. And just doing that very carefully so I don't puncture anything. I'm using the black ones on the white bunnies and the light gray ones, and then the white pins on the dark gray ones. But now this is totally optional too. I like the 3D look of having them be like an actual like little ball, but you can use a bead, you can hot glue it on there, or you could even just get a really fine brush and paint the eyes on as well. Whatever you want, it is totally up to you. Now it's time to add our little bunny tail, and here's one that's already finished to show you. Now I'm using just some stuffing that I have from some dog toys that they chewed up, but you can use cotton balls too if you would like. Just kind of rolling them up into a little ball with my fingers. And then right on that existing tail that's already on the bunny, I'm just adding a lot of hot glue and then placing the ball on and pushing it down with my fingers. If you have those little silicone tips to put on your fingers, I definitely recommend them so you don't burn yourself, because the glue does like to peek through the cotton when you're pushing it down. So definitely be careful. But once you get it to the point that you like it, that it's in a nice little ball shape, sometimes you might have to get your scissors and trim it down a little bit. But overall, I like the bushy tail look, and I like the look of this cotton better than like using a pom-pom ball. Now we're almost at the last step, but I'm gonna take some of this purple and jute twine. I believe I got this from burlapfabrics.com last year. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just take a smaller piece and put a little strand around each of the bunnies' necks just to dress them up and give them a little bit more color. And I'm going to be using the same jute twine to hang the bunnies on. So if you want to use like a ribbon or a regular jute twine that you have, the options are endless, but just to kind of tie it all together, you can put a little ribbon around the neck as well. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue, putting it around to the desired length, and cutting it with my scissors. Now for the last part, you're just gonna get all of the bunnies that you made and you're gonna add some glue to the back of the neck, and you're going to attach it to one long piece of the jute twine. Now I'm kind of just pulling it all out and laying it on the table and just kind of eyeballing it as far as like how far to space the bunnies. But if you want to be more exact, then definitely get your ruler out and do some measuring. But for me, I don't really care. I don't think you're gonna notice if it's off ever so slightly. So just keep continuing to do that and alternating the colors of your rabbits. And in the end, it's going to pretty much just look like a bunch of little bunnies who are hopping on through the fields chasing each other. Now I will make note that this probably isn't the most sturdiest way to do this, because depending on where you want to hang the garland, by gluing them on the necks, they do kind of lean forward a little bit. So if you're looking for something that's going to kind of lay more flat up against something, you might have to come up with a different way or a different positioning for how you want to glue the jute twine. For me, I'm going to be putting it on my fireplace and kind of just mixing it in with some greens. So they're going to be able to lay nice amongst the greens without having any problems. So that's totally up to you. And at this last stage of the game, I am just tying a knot and making like a little loop on the end of each side of the garland. That way I can attach it to a nail or a hook or just something when I'm hanging it. And that is pretty much it for this. Very simple. Have two nice loops at the end. Like I said, you're just tying them in a knot. I wanted to show you how you can take the bunnies even to like a more detailed look. This one I added a little bit of white to like show the inside of his ears, and I also drew a little nose and mouth using a very thin black paintbrush. And yeah, I'm just gonna use that one on a tiered tray. And that is it. That is it for our little bunny garland. I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely haven't done a DIY actual project on my channel in a while, so I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you liked it, I will definitely make some more. Again, check out the other two ladies' channels, Pajama Crafts and Dying to DIY. I'm going to have their spring DIY videos linked down below along with their channels. So head on over and see what kind of creations they came up with. And until the next one, I will see you guys then. Bye!